So now we're going to talk a little bit more about shapes, proofreading, and other tricks that we can do on InDesign. So if we open up our taking a break from work again with the extra pages, we're going to use the extra pages to go over this. So we've talked about several ways to insert a photo and using shapes. So we're going to now use the ellipse tool to create a circle. So if we just do this, I can make oblong, ovals, weird shapes. But if I hold shift, it makes a perfect circle. So we're going to create a perfect circle. You can insert an image into this as well by just doing the exact same thing that we did before. And I'm just going to use drinks as an example by hovering over it, and it drops in there. Then we can adjust it again like we had before by double clicking and manipulating by zooming in and out to get it exactly where we want it. So now to have it blank, I'm just going to put a fill in it so we can see it. So I'm going to just make it pink real fast so we can see where it's at. We can also type on a shape by using the tap on a path tool. So if we hold down where the type tool is and select type on a path, you see it's basically the regular type cursor with a squiggly line through it. We're just going to basically hover it over the border and click, and now I can type whatever I want. So I'm saying, hi, I'm Abby. And there my text appears, and you can change the type just like normal. It just allows you to type in a different path. Now, say I want to make a star, but there's not a star tool. So we're going to select the polygon tool. Now, as you can see, there's a polygon here. When I draw it, you can use the shift again to make sure it's perfectly aligned. But the way that we can manipulate these, and this goes for all the shapes, that we can go up, press the up arrow, or press the down arrow to add more of these shapes to kind of create different effects to them. You can also do sideways, the side, left and right arrow to do the exact same thing to the side. But to add or subtract sizes, we're going to hold the space bar and then go up or down to the sizes. So I'm going to take my shape up to a whatever six-sided one is. I don't know what it's called, but a six-sided shape. Is that a hexagon? Something like that. Okay, so I accidentally pressed something, so I'm going to just read it out. So now that we have our six-sided shape, we're going to hold the space bar and then go to your either left or right arrows to bring in these sides. And see, it makes a cool little shape. And then we can still do the sizes. And then go in to make a star. So now for proofreading, we talked about it a little bit beforehand by turning on your spell check. But again, another way to do this is by pressing Command I. Command I is a short key to do that, and then I'll be able to spell check for you. If you forget it, again, it is going to edit. Oh, you're going to edit, and then spelling, dynamic spelling. Just turn that on. Whenever it comes to the autocorrect that I have on, make sure that you are aware of what you're typing and make sure it's important to proofread yourself, because just like how when you're typing on your phone and it autocorrects a word to something that you are not meaning at all, the same thing can happen on here. So just make sure you watch out for it. So whenever we're adding these pictures, InDesign basically created a mental log of where to find that photo. That's called a link. So it's developed the link. The way we can see our links is by going over to the right panel and selecting links. We see that there's city and drinks. This one here shows that this is just, it's on here one time. If it was on here more than one time, it would have 2 or 3 and so on and so forth. Now, if it does not, if it is not able to find it, InDesign cannot find it, and that would happen if you are working on your hard drive or USB drive and you have all your project on your hard drive and you're adding a photo from your desktop that's not saved on your hard drive, and then undo and then start working on this project on a different computer, that link that was on, or that photo that was on your desktop will not show up because it can't find it. That's why it's important to save all of the files that you'll be using for a project in one folder. So for this 4-H brochure you're about to work on, I would create a 4-H brochure folder underneath InDesign in your ALEC 330 folder on your personal computer to keep all of your files in there for your pictures that you use and anything else that you would need. If you can't find it, then over here it would have a yellow triangle with an exclamation point on it or a red question mark, and sometimes both. You can press the yellow triangle and it'll allow you to, it'll prompt you through finding that link, and you can find your link that way, and it basically just searches your computer for that exact image. So now that, like, if this was our design and we are finished with it, and this is what it looks like, it's all we want, then we basically need to proofread one more time, then go over to the pre-flight. This is a pre-flight down here on the very bottom, kind of a little left of center, where mine has a green circle and it says no errors. If I would have errors in this where there's text off of the side, if I had text over here or an image over here, or any type of mistake that would mess up the design or anything that you could be missing, it'll turn red and it'll tell you right here there's blank mini errors. And if you click on it, it'll give you the list of errors and bring you to them like spell check does in Word. Now, this is more than spell check, though, but it basically is the same concept. If you have green, then your pre-flight is good to go. And if it has red, just look at the objects and put it together. So before we are able to save this and package it and send it to either the printer or someone else to work on it, you need to make sure it's saved. So if you do Command S or go up to File, Save As, you can save it to wherever you want. So I'm going to save mine in my ALEC 303 folder. And then you should be saving it under your InDesign folder and then class assignments. So we're just going to title this Taking a Break from Work. And that's what you would save it as if you hadn't already saved already, but it should already be saved. And then you save it and you're good to go. Now there's 2 ways you can use it to save it as. So you can press export and save it as a PDF, and if you press that, you can just change it in the format and it'll make the exact PDF for it. I like to do that whenever I'm sending it to someone for someone else's opinion, or I just want to see what it'll kind of look like in that format to print it off or so forth. And then next is for packaging. Packaging is how you will always submit all of your InDesign assignments in this class, so make sure whenever you're submitting it, you always package it. Never just turn in a PDF format. So if you press package, this is where you can check everything. It tells you if there's links or images missing, how many you've used, any fonts you've used, or whatever. So mine has a yellow triangle on it, and that's because I've used a font that I've downloaded from my type kit. Basically means that because I use that font, there's some limitations on that font usage. So it's just giving me that heads up warning that, hey, the person I'm sending this to may not be able to use this font. and then you'll press package, and then this is where you'll call the what you'll title it. So I'm going to use mine as InDesign practice. You could also use this taking a break from work, and press continue, and then it is going to title it for inside of your folder. So again, this will go in your Alex 330 file under InDesign in class assignments or in class assignments, and then it'll be called whatever you've titled your document with folder at the end. And then you just save, we press package, and then this warning comes up basically saying restrictions apply for copyright. You can press don't show me again and it will not come up anymore. Basically, it's just a normal warning, nothing to worry about, and always press OK. And then it packages it for you. And if I go to my Alex 330 file, it's right here under taking a break from work folder. And that's all.